Welcome back to the Virtual Firearms Association. We're in the virtual range today. I'm Frank. We're going over the three biggest firearm organizations in the world, in the country today. You might be surprised who it is. Let's discuss. Before we get started, those gifts are in the description. 2 gifts from us to you. 1, downloadable, free, and printable targets. Take them, use them, reuse them, print more, go to the range, save yourself some time and money so you don't have to stop and go through all that rigmarole to hit up the store, get your targets, forget your targets. You have them ready to go at all times. And they make great targets to train in your home for dry fire or any type of virtual training. Next is the free online pistol and marksmanship course. It is a free course for you. We could charge you for it. We could make money off it. We don't want to. The whole purpose is education, knowledge, learning, making it affordable and easily accessible for you. Use it. They're both in the description. We'll go over that a little bit more later on. Here we go. Top 3. I'm going to jump right into it, tell you what they are. First one, NRA. If you don't know what the NRA is, then that's surprising. But the National Rifle Association, once upon a time, considered the premier organization for training and for gun advocacy and gun rights. And they may still be up there. They may not. It may be waning. Some people are getting a little bit disconcerted with how they operate up at the nation's capital, up on the Hill and in politics. But I digress. Next is GOA, Gun Owners of America. If you've heard of that one, if you haven't heard of that one, another advocacy group. They really stand behind a no compromise to the Second Amendment. They really support it. They push heavy. They don't believe in any type of giving up any little bit of the rights. They say, hey, Second Amendment, the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And that's the stance they take on. They do a lot of stuff up on Capitol Hill as well. Next, and maybe you know this one, maybe you don't, National Shooting Sports Foundation. I had to remember the acronym right there. NSSF. It's really hard to do. National Shooting Sports Foundation. Now, this is less of an advocacy group, however, they are in the game. And they're more of a training, of an education, and what's the term I'm looking for? They're more of a practicality and an event group rather than an advocacy group. And what I mean by this is they go out there and they run events, and you can get certified under this, and they run certain different shoots, and they have different programs both for youth and adults, and they have foundations and scholarships and everything like that you can get to benefit you in shooting sports. It's a really great program. But these are the major 3. If you go out there and you do the good old Google search and you're really diving into it, these are the major 3 you're going to come across. Now, there's other groups coming up throughout the nation and throughout the time. Heck, we're trying to be one of them, right? We want to get out there and deliver you training easily and accessible, and training that's affordable, of course, right? Because it could be easy and accessible, but if it's $1 million, most people won't do it, which brings me to where I'm going with these 3 groups. So I mentioned these 3 groups because collectively they have a lot of members, whether their popularity wanes and or grows, it doesn't matter. But they have a lot of members between the 3. And like I said, there's other organizations out there growing as well. But here's what I want to tell you. A lot of people think that, if I own a firearm, I need to be quiet about it because, other people will judge me. It's projected that this is households. Not people, but household. It's projected that over 50% of American households own a firearm. That's just a projection. It's probably likely a lot more than that. That's just the people you can get to admit it, right? But projected that over 50% of all households own a firearm. You're not in the minority here. So take some take a reprieve in that. Understand that you're not just sitting here and you're all alone with owning a firearm. and that you don't have to be shy about it. Now, I'm not telling you to go out there and scream it from the top of the world, but at the same point in time, I'm telling you not to be embarrassed about it. All right, there's no need to be embarrassed, but there's a lot of different reasons to own a firearm. Number one, when you poll individual firearm owners, number one reason, and when I say number one, I'm talking, I think it's over 70% or something along those lines. Let me look at the stats real quick. I think I have them pulled up here. Yeah. So a poll done, right? And I'm not going to say the name of the poll, but a poll done. Here we go. Out of 5,115 adults, right? And this was back in June of 2023. 72% of them said that they 72% said that they used it for protection. 72% right off the bat. Then the next highest was, of course, hunting. And then right behind it was shooting sports, gun collection, and then the last bit was their job. 72% of polled individuals say they own it for protection. You can own it for protection too. The Supreme Court said it's an individual right for protection. Don't feel bad about it. I don't want you to feel bad about it. No one should feel bad about it. Those three organizations, they don't want you to feel bad about it, right? Now, I'm not going to sit here and go over each one of these organizations individually and what they represent, right? But what I'm trying to tell you is you're not alone out there, and you should never feel alone. And you should never feel intimidated or embarrassed or any other reason such as that just for owning a firearm, whether it's for protection, for hunting and conservation, for what was the other ones? Shooting sports, right? NSF is going to be mad at me for delaying on that one. But any of those, right? Any of those, any reason, it's perfectly okay. And you're not alone. 72% just for protection. Over 50% of households own firearms. Over 70% of all Americans, U.S. citizens, would own a firearm or do own a firearm individually, right? Said that they would purchase a firearm or they would own a firearm. You are not alone. You're not the minority in this group of individuals here. So don't ever feel that way. Don't feel embarrassed about it, right? Go out, feel positive, go out and train. A lot of people I've been hearing recently say, hey, yeah, there's a lot of reasons I don't train, but main reason is I don't have anyone to train with, and I'm not willing to get up and talk to people and guess to see if they're into firearms or not, because I don't want it to be turned into a political debate, because I just don't want to have a debate. I just don't want to argue about it or have to defend myself verbally against, an onslaught of why I own a firearm. I get it. Heck, I'm right there with you sometimes, but you don't have to, right? You never have to. There's organizations out there where you can know that you're a part of something. Our organization is designed for that. We have a whole membership site where you can sit there and chat to other like-minded individuals and firearm owners and instructors. And it's all part of our membership, but that's not what we're here for today. What we're here for today is you not feeling bad or embarrassed or that you can't talk. There's plenty of things out there, plenty of organizations where you can go in, you can grow your knowledge, you can feel comfortable talking to individuals, and you can just put all that behind you, thinking that you're the minority in this group of, or in this world, right? In this group of individuals with everything going on. If you think about it, right now it's very difficult to get ammunition, right? And we had the huge ammunition shortage during the COVID times, and now we're in another huge ammunition shortage due to everything going on across the nation. Everyone wants to just have a little bit more, just because they've seen what can happen in Israel or in Ukraine. And just, who's to say that the United States is any more protected than that? It just depends on where you fall mentally on this one. So there's a lot of people out there that are going out buying what they can for ammunition. There's a shortage. It makes it harder to train, right? Makes it harder to train. That's why we started Virtual Firearms Association, so that you could train, right? So that your skills will be polished, will be good. And then all you have to do is go out there, spend some time with some friends that you meet, through one of these organizations or our organization. And you can get out there and actually enjoy yourself and enjoy the company that you have and train safely and put the skills that you learned, maybe virtually, to test in your live fire aspect. And that's what you do. You train virtually, and then you go out there and you test with live fire, and then you get to have fun doing both, and obviously practice doing both as well. I just wanted to go out there, take that time on today's episode and tell you you're not alone. Don't feel embarrassed about owning a firearm. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's a constitutionally protected right. It's been defended multiple times by these organizations, by other organizations, and upheld by the Supreme Court of the United States of America. Don't feel bad about it. Now, if you're looking to train, download and print out those targets that we have for you. Download and printable targets, right? They're down in the description below. Additionally, if you really are serious about it, we have that free online course. It's 100% free. I don't even think you have to put in a credit card, right? You just go in there, take the course. If you're new to shooting, it's going to have all the basics you need to know and then some, right? All the etiquette that you'll need to know at the range and safety, and then all the components you would need to never miss, right? So make your shots count. Additionally, same if you're experienced, it has all that in there for you too. It's a little bit of a shorter one, but I wanted it to be something where we just reached out and we spoke to you, so you didn't feel bad about it. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.